Okay, welcome to another day on the head gasket job. It's 2 weeks since I pulled it in here. It's Saturday today. I was hoping to be back in here yesterday working on it, but I was missing all these little O-rings. The lower conversion gasket set that I bought thinking it would have those didn't, and so I spent the day yesterday running around to like 5 different stores and searching all over online trying to see if I could find them anywhere besides the dealership. And I found them at the dealership. That was the only place I could find them. So I went by the dealership. Luckily they had them in stock and I went and bought them. Unfortunately, the dealership charged twice the price of what the online parts store charged, and so I ended up paying $93.21 for like 13 O-rings, 4 bolts, and a gasket. Pretty terrible. It's this bag of parts. It was $93. That's the biggest ripoff I've ever heard of. Especially since if I would have realized it and ordered it online from the dealership, it would have been $50, not $90. But there is something to be said about the ease of buying parts from the dealership. It's the smoothest transaction. It's the smoothest parts buying I've ever done. They actually know what they're talking about. They have all the schematics up and they know what parts are called instead of dealing with some high school kid who likes cars and has no formal training. So there can be something said for that, but it is extremely expensive. So upped my build cost quite a bit, but at the same time it's not the end of the world because I don't have to replace timing components, and a timing component kit for an EJ25 is like $170, and so that cost isn't here on the EJ or on the EZ30, and so I mean it's not the end of the world, but another $90 on top of everything else is still not outrageous, even though it is outrageous. But I'm just glad I have the parts today and that I can get it back together as soon as possible, because as annoying and frustrating as it is to pay that much for 30-cent O-rings, they're like $4 a piece at the dealership. They're $2 online. And I was like, okay, everywhere that I've gone to look for these O-rings about the same size is like 80 to $1, 80 cents to $1. And if it's $2, fine, I'll eat that. But $4 for an O-ring? Gall. Anyway, so learn from my mistakes. Buy your parts. Those O-rings, just buy them online from it's parts.subaru.com, or you can do subaruparts.com, I think. Those are the 2 sites I looked up. I'll see if I can link all of those, the diagrams and the schematics for these parts and the part numbers and everything in the description, so look for those below. But I might just have another video where I go over all the costs and have all of the links so that it's all in one spot, so you don't have to go dig through the videos. That's probably what I'll do. Anyway, so yeah, we're back on it today. We got this cam cap on, and that RTV is hardened up real nice, so that one's good to go. This one I was waiting on, and it's a good thing I did, because I need to put the RTV on this one and then wait an hour after just hand tightening it, and then I need to torque it, and then I need to fully torque the cams on this end. The goal today is to get the rear cover on, it's RTV'd as well, and so I'm going to have to wait an hour before I can torque it. Those bolts only get torqued to 4.7 foot-pounds, so just barely hand tight with a small ratchet or just an open-end wrench. And then I'm hoping to get the rear cover and then the timing components. That's the plan for today. I forgot all the bolts for the outer timing cover, or the front cover. I did get them in the mail. I got them from MrGasket.com. They were reasonably priced, and they had the exact sizes that I needed. Looking at the hardware store, they only have like M6 by 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, and it stops there. And I needed like M6 by 14 and M6 by 22, and so ordering them online worked out real nice. So that's how I'm putting them. I don't know. Yeah, ordering online was good, but I forgot them at home, so I won't be able to get the front cover on, which isn't that big of a deal. It's Saturday. What time is it? 11:30 in the morning. So I'm kind of getting started on it later than I had planned, but I mean, lazy Saturday morning. I'm probably only going to work until about 4. Well, I hope to be home by 4, so 3:30. So I have 4 hours to work today. And, yeah, hopefully that should give me enough time to get things going and be mostly set up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cap on. While that is like starting to cure, I'm going to go ahead and do the spark plugs. And then we'll get the rear cover on. And I might do the rear cover and nose at the same time so that it has time to cure. We'll see. Anyway, that's the one thing that's going to be kind of a bummer, is the RTV I bought in the tube. This stuff, it needs an hour. I'm pretty sure this is not the fast drying stuff. Cut off tip, attach nozzle, let dry for 1 hour, then tighten to torque specs. Allow 24 hours to cure before filling with fluids and returning to service. Yeah, so this is not the quick dry ultra gray. The quick dry in the 13-ounce tube was like $60, and the normal stuff was only $18 on Amazon, and so yeah, I can be patient. But that is going to be kind of a bummer. I have to wait about an hour before I can torque all these little bolts, and so I got to figure out something else to do in that time. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started here, cleaning off both of the sealing surfaces here on the head just with brake cleaner, so that I can have a really good seal with that RTV. And yeah, same thing I did on the last video on this side. But you gotta do it twice because there's two heads. Anyway, yeah, that's a lot of talking. That's a really long intro before I actually start working on the car, but here we go.
You're only slightly less than wonderful. Your body borders on the mirror. I think I'm on the brink of dying to drag on the ground or wrap around you and usually.
Okay, so I just, it's been an hour, and so I finished torquing all of the cams, and so now I'm here to torque these plugs. and then they get torqued to 44 foot-pounds, which seems excessive to me, but we'll go ahead and do it, because I mean, what else am I going to do? There we go. Okay, there's those cams, our plugs on. So now it's time to put the rear cover back on. Cleaned it all off really nice, and so now it's time to put it on. You do need to put a new gasket in back here on the water pump. So this is a full water pump rebuild kit or gasket set. It has the rear. There we go. So this sits right here on these pins, and then it comes with two gigantic O-rings, and those go on the front cover and actually on the water pump itself. Now it's time to grab that rear cover. I'm going to wipe it down one last time with brake cleaner. Here is the diagram of where you want to put that RTV. So on the two cams, on the oil pump mating surface, and then down here, and you want to go around the outsides of the bolts. There's a couple tricky spots down here. Just be aware which bolts you want to be on the inside and which ones you want to be on the outside. It's mostly just this one. Oh, there's one up here too. Like these ones. I guess you don't even see those ones. But so you want to be on the inside or the outside of these major ones, and then you can be on the inside of these littler ones. Yeah. But I would definitely recommend buying the caulk gun, because that went way faster than I think I need a little more over here maybe, but that went way faster than it would have gone trying to squeeze it out in a tube like you normally do. So I'm gonna grab my tray of bolts and rear cover driver side. You also want to make sure you put the O-rings on. I already did that.
Now this is a stereo tape player. The sound here has been recorded on the tape magnetically. But mind you, this stereophonic tape player is not just ordinary hi-fi. It isn't? No, sir. This is hi-fi plus. This is a new dimension in sound. This is what I want to hear.
Rear cover, passenger side. There's two sizes of bolts, and 39 through 45. So the outer edge are the shorter ones in here. So now I just got to separate out the short and the long ones. It's pretty handy. There's some small ones. I'm just going to go ahead and... So with that done, I'm going to go ahead and take on the oil pump now and get the oil pump installed. You really want to be as clean as possible when you're dealing with anything oil related. Make sure it's clean. You don't want anything in your oil as best you can. So this part's kind of messy. So what you do is you take your inner and your outer pump, you put them together, and you dump some oil on them. That's probably more than you need, but you're just trying to lubricate it all. Just like that. And slide it in. like that. And then you're going to install the outer cover just like that. And then obviously put the bolts in. Okay, so there's a few different sizes of bolts that go in here. So these short ones that have the hex head, that's I forget the name of this, but the non-tapered hex head, these go in 12, 15, 16, and 17. 15, 16, and 17. And then this mid-size that has a little bit of a gap goes in 13 and 14. Then the rest of the normal hex heads go in 5 through 11. There's 6, 10, 5, 9, 7, there's 8, 11. And the shorties of this style goes in 1 and 3. Then the long ones go in 2 and 4. And for these ones, it's like a 4.4 millimeter hex head, but I'm just using a T25 Torx, and it seems to work all right. I think it'll give me enough torque. These only need torque. These only need torque to 4.7 foot-pounds, so that's like barely tight at all. And as much as it doesn't really fit that well, I think it's gonna do just fine. It'll get me to the torque I need to, at least. The two longer ones go in top here, goes here. The rest are pretty self-explanatory because they're all the same size. Okay, it is 2:35 now, and so I'm gonna go ahead and torque all of these. I got the spark plugs swapped out, and I have this valve cover on. It's not torqued yet because you have to RTV the inside of it. And I didn't have time to get this one on, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and torque this now. So tighten the bolts in the numerical order as shown in the figure. You just need these sequences. 1 through 11 is 6.5 foot-pounds, 12 through 19 are 14 foot-pounds, 20 through 30 are 6.5, 31 through 38 are 8.7, 39 through 45 are another 6.5. Because they're numbered on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Anyway, yeah, just look for the numbers. 13, 14, yeah. 21, 2, 3, yeah. That's all. It's all there for you, and it's in order. And so there's no torque sequence. It's just torque them in order. They sequenced them for you and printed it on the cover, which is really nice. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't have a really small torque wrench, so I'm going to be doing this by hand, based on feel. 6.5 foot-pounds is tight, with my hand kind of up here, tightening like this. And I'm going to say 9 foot-pounds is tight halfway. That's what it is for me. Obviously, these are tiny little 10 millimeter bolts, and you don't want to strip them out because they're steel in aluminum. The head, the block, and on the rear cover, that's going to give before the steel of the bolt gives. So, just, I don't know, get a torque wrench if you're not comfortable doing this. I'm ready to install my water pump. I got an AC Delco. There's your item number. This one does come with one of the O-rings. The O-ring that actually goes around the water pump, right there. It does not come with the second O-ring that is required, which the total gasket set comes with. So it doesn't come with this one. It sits around right here, around the outside there. You will want to replace that one. And so depending on what water pump you buy, you can decide on what gasket set you want to go with. Checking this one out compared to the other one that was in it, obviously it's a whole lot dirtier. It looks like the water pump was replaced at some point. At least it has the same part number on it. This one doesn't say AC Delco, but it also doesn't say Subaru or anything JDM on it. So I'm gonna assume it was replaced. It's still probably still good. The bearing feels alright. It's just terribly dirty. And so for like 30 bucks to get a new one, that's what I decided to go. This one's a lot stiffer. So the bearings are still good in it. This one's pretty loose. Anyway, you can see that's where that O-ring goes. That one that's flopping around. I'm gonna go ahead and use the O-ring that came with it instead of the one that came in my kit, because that's the one I have in my hand right now. But it just kind of goes over, sits like that. Yeah, so they're just little tiny bolts that go on there. They have to be able to fit through here. If you're having troubles getting the water pump off, you can thread a larger thread into it and then kind of tighten it, and that'll kind of push it out. You can see how that works. Anyway, yeah, there's my 4 little tiny bolts, and they just get torqued to 6.4 foot-pounds. So yeah, ram that in there, torque them down, and you're set. You got a new water pump. You're gonna have it sit upside down from where those sit. That just slides right in there. Okay, so water pump's on, and it's 320 right now, and so I'm gonna go ahead and final torque my valve cover. Torques are just to like 4.7 foot-pounds again, but your torquing sequence again is right here. That's for your left hand side, and this is for the right hand side. So this is the one I'm doing right now. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So kind of like a star, just tightening evenly across. Makes sense. This one's not super imperative to get the thing right, but might as well do it in the order that the engineers told you to. So that's where I'm going to end it today. Once I do that, I'll clean up and go home. And yeah, it's coming together really nicely. With everything torqued, it'll have enough time to cure. I really should have done that side, because then that side would have had time to cure, and well, it's still gonna take time to cure because it needs like 24 hours before you put oil in it. And I have to smear RTV around the whole outside of the front cover, and so yeah, I still have 2 days left. Bummer, but that's okay. That'll give me plenty of time to do the things that I need to get the timing back together, and then the whole top of the engine get back together with all the accessories. When I get everything back together, I will need to purge or burp my power steering pump, because it has been open this whole time. I'll show you how to do that you really don't want to just fill up the reservoir and start driving around. You'll ruin the pump, which is not fun. Because, I mean, I have a good pump. Why do I want to put a new one on? Anyway. Yeah. Come together nice. It was a good day's work. I don't know how I got RTV on the front of this right here. Anyway, but yeah, that's it for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's... Well, I guess it won't be tomorrow. It's Sunday again. I don't want to work on Sunday. So Monday, I'll have a good full day ahead of me on Monday, and then on Tuesday again, I'll be back at it. So make sure to hit the subscribe button to see the finish, I guess the end of this, and to see it running. With this end of this in sight, it's got me planning more things to do to the third generation, which I'm really excited about because it's an H6 and I've never done a whole ton to the H6 performance wise. Unfortunately, it's in a third gen Legacy, which is like the heaviest body style ever, but that's okay. It'll be fun. Got some good videos of it coming up, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment and let me know what you think, or if you had questions, or if anything wasn't clear, so that future people watching can get the good info that they need so they can have a sound engine. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll see you later.